The development or evolution of U.S.-Philippine ties was put on hold in the previous administration. It is back on track and poised to make up for lost time thanks to a commitment between the newly minted 17th President of the Republic and the leader of the free world in an ad hoc encounter in New York City. PTV's Alan Francisco on a mutual pledge to work on shared concerns on economic and military cooperation that sets the stage for another greet and meet in Washington, D.C. next year.
For the first time, President Ferdinand R Jr. and United States President Joe Biden had a bilateral meeting. President Biden has recognized the deep root of relationship between the Philippines and America. The two leaders discussed COVID-19 recovery, security, renewable energy, and others. President Biden was impressed by the windmills in Ilocos Norte, which President Marcos started when he became governor of the province, and other things the president has done. They also discussed the South China Sea issue. President Marcos thanked again America's help in the Philippines' response to the pandemic. The president expects the continuous partnership between the Philippines and the United States. According to President Biden, the Philippines is one of America's allies that was quick to condemn Russia's attack on Ukraine. Biden also acknowledged the millions of Filipino Americans in the United States. He said, the Philippines also appreciates the role of the U.S. in maintaining peace. President Marcos emphasized to President Biden that the Philippines is a partner, ally, and a friend of America. Meanwhile, at the Philippine Economic Briefing, President Marcos encouraged American investors to do business in the Philippines now because this is the right time to do so. He said, corporate recovery and tax incentives help the country, also expanding space for foreign investment in protected sectors.
It is our belief that the Philippines is the smart investment choice, and the best time to do business with us is now. We have grand opportunities, the timing, the window of opportunities for investment, and especially in capital-intensive investments in the Philippines, which is what we need now. We believe that time is now. Thank you very much for your continuing interest.
The president also presented his 8-point socioeconomic agenda that aimed to cut the poverty incidence and raise the country to the upper middle income status.
The country is on its way to a strong recovery from the pandemic and a robust, broad-based growth in the next 6 years. In fact, our projected economic performance in the medium term is expected to surpass our regional neighbors. To secure the Philippines' bright economic future, my government will swing the doors even wider for high-value investments from both the domestic and international business communities, with a sharp focus on broad-based job creation, the expansion of digital infrastructure, research, and development.
He said his administration is doubling its efforts to address the effect of inflation.
I thank you for your continuing interest in the Philippines, which we are touting as, and with great confidence, as Asia's fastest rising economic star. The United States...
Press Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles confirmed there were new requests from other leaders for a bilateral meeting with U.S. President Biden on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly, but only the request of President Marcos was approved.
A lot of requests had been made to the U.S. President that it is significant that he spoke only with President Marcos on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. While it's true he spoke with one other person, that was a postponed meeting, and so all the more it becomes significant that President Marcos has been able to speak with the U.S. President.
Secretary Angeles clarified President Biden's other meetings were previously agreed upon, but which were postponed and continued only this time. She also said that Filipinos will feel the effect of the President's U.S. trip. President Marcos also met with World Bank executives. Press Secretary Angeles said some businessmen gave preliminary commitments to President Marcos. She said that the government and the businessmen who talked to the president in the meetings have positive outlook. The secretary can't divulge as of yet how much is the value of investment possibly obtained by the president's working visit, and she said they will only communicate with the DTI about it. Meanwhile, At the Philippine Economic Briefing, DTI Secretary Alfredo Pascual confirmed that some companies here in the United States said that they will invest in the Philippines like a cigarette company. He said there is also a nuclear company but there is no commitment yet because their stage is still in discussion.
Example is Philip Morris, will invest in a new factory with an amount in US dollars, 160 million US. It's about 8 to 9 billion pesos. We met with Procter & Gamble. They have plans of also putting up additional investments. We met with a number of companies that are engaged in refining of mineral ores, and that will involve refining our nickel ores, which right now we are exporting raw.
According to Secretary Angeles, the Procter & Gamble company expressed confidence in the Philippines and its plan for digitalization. Alan Francisco, for The Nation, New York, USA.